Hi, I'm Samantha Bessemer, and the book I read is When You Reach Me by Rebecca Steed. Rebecca Steed was born in 1968 in New York City. She originally became a lawyer because writing was impractical. The book, When You Reach Me, won a Newbery Medal in 2010. When You Reach Me is a book about a girl named Miranda. Miranda lives in New York City with her mother. The book takes place between the years of 1978 and 1979. Miranda's mother is a paralegal, and her mother's boyfriend, Richard, is a lawyer. Miranda has a best friend. His name is Sal. He lives in the same apartment building. They are inseparable. They have the same routine every day. Walk past the older kids on the corner, walk past Bella's Market, and walk past the laughing man who is always kicking in the air or laying with his head under a mailbox. He also mutters strange things like book bag, pocket shoe, book bag, pocket shoe. One day, when walking home like usual, a strange kid, who we later learn is Marcus, walks up to Sal and punches him. Sal runs home. From that day on, he never walked with Miranda, he even spoke with her. Miranda slowly started to make new friends. She starts hanging out with Anne Marie because her best friend Julia decided she was mad at her and, as a punishment, would not eat lunch with her for a week. And then their friend Colin. One day, Colin decides that they should get a job at lunch. So, they start working at Jimmy's sandwich shop. They get paid in sandwiches to take back to school that cannot put any meat on them, so they're paid in cheese sandwiches and soda. Miranda always has to count the bread delivery to make sure it's all there. Miranda's the only one who doesn't get to work behind the counter because she cannot make the perfect V-cut that Jimmy requires. Jimmy's only rule is that no one is to touch the Fred Flintstone piggy bank. One day, Miranda forgets her key at school, so she hangs out at Bella's Market. Bella asks Miranda to tell her about her favorite book, A Wrinkle in Time. This may seem unimportant, but throughout the book you learn that A Wrinkle in Time plays a bigger role than you may think. Later that night, Miranda and her mom decide to hide a spare key in the fire hose of the building, just in case Miranda forgets hers again. One day, Miranda comes home to find the house unlocked. She thought her mom just forgot to lock the door when she left. When her mom gets home, Miranda tells her that she forgot to lock the door. Miranda's mom swears she doesn't. During dinner, she gets up, looking confused, and goes to check the fire hose. The key is gone. They check the house, but strangely find nothing missing. That was on a Friday. She found the first note on Monday. It was hiding in a book in her backpack. The note read, M. This is harder than I expected, even with your help. But I have been practicing and my preparations go well. I am coming to save your friend's life and my own. I ask you 2 favors. First, you must write me a letter. Second, you must remember to mention the location of your house key. The trip is a difficult one. I will not be myself when I reach you. Miranda is so freaked out that she tells her mother. Her mom just, tells her not to worry about it. But one day, when Miranda is counting bread, she finds another note. This one reads, Miranda, your letter must tell a true story. You cannot begin now as most of it has not yet taken place. And even afterward, there is no hurry. But do not wait so long that your memory fades. I require as much detail as you can provide. The trip is a difficult one, and I must ask my favors while my mind is sound. The postscript. I know you have shared my first note. I ask you not to share the others. Please, I do not ask this for myself. Miranda just, throws this one in the same box that she put the first one in and tries to forget about it. One day, Miranda is asked to be an office assistant, and she has to go run to classrooms and get students and take them to the dentist in the school. She has to go pick up a 6th grader named Marcus. Once she gets to the classroom, she finds that this Marcus is the same Marcus that had punched Sal. While sitting in the dentist's office, he noticed her reading A Wrinkle in Time, and they begin to talk about time travel and if it's possible. Miranda is intrigued but also confused as to what Marcus is trying to tell her. And then one day they're talking about it again, and Julia comes up and tries to describe time travel as on a diamond ring, that each piece of time is on like one diamond and you're jumping from diamond to diamond. Miranda doesn't really get that either, but Marcus does. After the second note, Miranda receives 2 more. The third note, which she finds in her coat pocket, says, "You will want proof. 3 p.m. today, Colin's knapsack." Christmas Day, Tesser Well. April 27th, Studio TV 15. P.S. Yawns do serve a purpose. They cool the brain by bringing air high into the nasal passage, which has the effect of increasing alertness. And that day she checks Colin's knapsack, and the bread count at Jimmy's had been too short. In Colin's knapsack, she finds a bunch of crumbs and 2 rolls of bread. Christmas Day, she receives a book from Richard. It is a first edition of A Wrinkle in Time with a note from the author that reads, "Tesser Well." April 27th, she knows is Richard's birthday, but has no idea what Studio TV 15 is. But later on in the book, it becomes apparent, and it has something to do with her mother. The 4th note she finds in his shoe. It's Richard's shoe. Something had been taken from the apartment after all. The note read, "This is a story I need to tell you. This and everything has led up to it. Please deliver your letter by hand. You know where to find me. My apologies for the terse instructions. The trip is a difficult one. I can carry nothing, and a man can only hold so much paper in his mouth. I bet you're wondering who is leaving these notes. Will Sal ever talk to her again? What does April 27th have to do with anything? I will leave you with this. There's an accident and someone does not make it. And someone will win $20,000. Read the book to find out